There are mornings when your body begs you to stay in bed, when your mind whispers that yesterday's battles were enough. But deep inside, you feel something stronger than fatigue, a promise you made to yourself, a responsibility to your future. And so, even tired, you rise. You're not moving because you feel energized. You're moving because you have goals that matter, dreams that won't build themselves, success that won't walk to your door. It's the commitment to keep showing up even when the world is still asleep. That's what separates wanting from becoming. Being tired is not a weakness. It's a sign that you're pushing, that you're moving beyond comfort and into growth. Every step you take while exhausted adds a new layer to your character. Because when you move tired, you discover strength you didn't know you had. And strength builds champions. Some of you are tired from studying, tired from working late, tired from trying to build a life that makes sense. But listen, your fatigue is evidence of effort. You're not stagnant. You're not stuck. You're building brain cells, discipline, and knowledge brick by brick. And knowledge always pays off. Some of you are tired from studying, tired from working late, tired from trying to build a life that makes sense. But listen, your fatigue is evidence of effort. You're not stagnant. You're not stuck. You're building brain cells, discipline, and knowledge brick by brick. And knowledge always pays off. Some of you are building dreams after work when everyone else is clocked out. You're tired, yes, but you have goals that won't let you settle. You want more for your family, your life, your legacy. And those after-hours sacrifices, those lonely nights, will one day become your greatest rewards. Your exhaustion isn't weakness. It's proof of your dedication. Every brick you lay, every hour you commit, puts you one step closer to the life you envision. You're carrying burdens most people will never see, but your strength isn't showing up anyway. Day after day, even tired, you build. Parents, I see you. You're tired from working, sacrificing, worrying, giving everything you have. But your goals are simple and powerful: to give your children a life better than your own. That type of tired doesn't break you. It transforms you. Because love fuels a purpose that exhaustion cannot stop. Greatness doesn't happen when you're fresh. It happens when you push through the burn. When your legs are shaking and your lungs feel tight, but you whisper again. That's where champions are born. When you practice tired, you perform unstoppable. That one shot, the one that comes after failure, after fatigue, after frustration, that's the shot that builds your destiny. Goals aren't achieved in your comfort zone. They are built in sweat, stress, repetition, and persistence. Even tired, you rise to the challenge. Everyone gets tired. Everyone feels the weight of early mornings and late nights. The difference is what you do after you feel tired. Winners don't stop. They acknowledge the fatigue, breathe through it, then move anyway. Your goals require effort, even when motivation fades. Creativity has its own kind of exhaustion. When inspiration isn't flowing and your mind feels blocked, that's where discipline becomes your ally. You don't wait for magic. You work until the magic appears. Even when you're drained, you create. That's how masterpieces are born. Sometimes the hardest part is starting, especially when you're mentally drained and your thoughts feel heavy. But progress doesn't require perfection, only effort. Each keystroke, each idea, each attempt counts. Even tired, you create momentum. And momentum rewrites your entire story. Some people wake up when others are going to sleep. Their craft demands early mornings, aching joints, and unwavering patience. But this is the price of excellence. The price of passion. Even when your hands hurt and your eyes burn, you push forward because your goals rise with you. Late night study walks, exhaustion after long lectures. This journey isn't easy. But education is an investment no one could take away from you. Each hour you give now shapes decades of your future. Even tired, you walk, because your future self deserves it. Being tired isn't only physical. It's emotional, mental, spiritual. That's why you must pause sometimes, breathe deeply, reconnect with yourself. Rest is not quitting. Recovery is not weakness. Even tired, you rebuild your energy. You rise again with a clearer mind and stronger purpose. True strength is revealed when your body begs you to stop, but your spirit demands you continue. Every punch thrown tired is a punch thrown with heart, and heart outperforms talent every day. Even tired, you fight. That's what makes a warrior. That last punch, the one you throw after exhaustion, that's the one that defines your greatness. Champions are not created in the spotlight, but in moments like this. Unseen, uncelebrated, yet unstoppable. Even tired, you finish the round. Some of you grind through long shifts just to keep life moving. You carry responsibilities most people don't understand. And even when exhaustion hits hard, you still finish the job. That discipline, that consistency, that resilience, it builds a future you'll be proud of. Creativity thrives on persistence, not inspiration alone. You paint even when your hands tremble. You write even when the words lag. You build even when the vision is blurry. The world will see the masterpiece. Only you will remember the exhaustion behind it. Every morning asks you one question. Are your goals worth the discomfort? Your answer is shown through your actions. You may wake up tired, but your commitment wakes up stronger. Even tired, you move. And movement changes your life. Hard work is not glamorous. It's gritty, exhausting, repetitive. But everything you endure today builds tomorrow's stability. Your sacrifices echo into your future. Even tired, you give your best. That is a legacy no one can ignore. Knowledge is built in layers. And every hour you study, even when your brain feels heavy, adds another layer. Mastery requires consistency, especially on the hard days. Even tired, you learn. And learning builds power. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in the last reps, the painful ones. The ones you don't want to do, but do anyway. That's where transformations begin. Even tired, you lift. Because your goals demand strength, body, mind, and soul. Starting something from nothing is exhausting. There are days you question everything. Days the world feels heavy. But remember, every business, every empire, every success story started with someone who pushed through fatigue. Even tired, you build your dream. Teachers carry the fatigue of shaping the future. They show up for every student, every challenge, every long day. Your tired eyes tell a story of dedication, and that dedication changes lives. Even tired, you teach with heart. There is dignity in every form of work. No task is too small when done with commitment. You may feel tired, unseen, overlooked, but your effort matters. Every act of discipline builds your character. Even tired, you keep going. Healthcare workers carry a unique exhaustion, the weight of caring for lives. You give when you have nothing left. You comfort while silently fighting fatigue. Your goals aren't about success, they're about service. Even tired, you heal others. Some of you aren't just physically tired, you're emotionally drained. Life has tested you again and again. But your presence here means you haven't quit. You're still fighting. Even tired, you breathe. And sometimes breathing itself is strength. Success is like that staircase, brutal, long, unforgiving. But each step, even the tired ones, gets you higher. You don't need speed. You need persistence. Even tired, you climb. And climbing eventually leads to victory. Craftsmanship requires patience. It requires showing up even when your energy is fading. And every tired stroke of effort adds precision to your dream. Even tired, you shape greatness. Piece by piece. Your tiredness is temporary. Your goals are permanent. Every page you read now builds the life you want later. Stay awake for your dreams. They need your attention. Even tired, you study. Because knowledge is your weapon. Every performance, every repetition, every failed attempt is part of your journey. Acting requires vulnerability, and vulnerability is exhausting. But your passion pulls you forward. Even tired, you practice. And practice creates success. Some of you fix problems no one sees. You solve issues behind the scenes with little recognition. But your work keeps the world moving. Even tired, you repair, rebuild, restore. That quiet strength builds a loud future. Creativity demands resilience. Sometimes your best ideas come when you're mentally drained but deeply determined. Even tired, you write. Words born from struggle carry a power that resonates with the world. Searching for opportunity is exhausting. Rejections hurt. Progress feels slow. But don't quit. Your breakthrough could be one application away. Even tired, you persist. And persistence turns no into next. Mastery comes from repetition. Repetition comes from discipline. Discipline comes from purpose. Even tired, you keep practicing. Because your music, your passion, your dream, they deserve your effort. Effort in the kitchen reflects effort in life. You mix, adjust, refine. Not every day is easy, but every day counts. Even tired, you cook. Because feeding your goals requires consistency. The finish line is sweetest when your journey was difficult. When you're tired, sweaty, broken, but victorious. Even tired, you finish what you started. And finishing is a habit of champions. Goals remind you why you began. They turn exhaustion into fuel. When you look at your dreams every day, fatigue loses power. Discipline shows itself when no one is watching. When the gym is empty and the world is asleep, but you're still grinding. Your tired body may slow, but your vision accelerates. Even tired, you run. Because the version of you you're chasing demands this level of effort. Age does not reduce ambition. Only excuses do. No matter how old you are, dreams still breathe inside you. And every time you push through fatigue, you prove that purpose outlives youth. Even tired, you continue. Because passion doesn't retire. Art is struggle woven into movement. Pain evolves into expression. And every tired rehearsal adds perfection to your performance. Even tired, you dance. Because your dreams deserve your rhythm, not your excuses. Heroes don't get to rest when they want. They push through exhaustion because lives depend on them. And though fatigue weighs heavily, purpose weighs more. Even tired, you answer the call. That is courage in motion. The grind doesn't pause for rain, cold, or exhaustion. Life keeps moving, and so do you. These silent struggles, the ones no one sees, build resilience that can't be taught. Even tired, you push forward. Because responsibility fuels your hustle. Progress is slow, repetitive, demanding. But great discoveries happen when passion outlasts exhaustion. Every tired hour spent studying the unknown brings humanity one step forward. Even tired, you research. Because curiosity drives greatness. Some goals require patience. Hours of waiting, watching, enduring. But the reward always comes to those who persist. Even tired, you stay ready. Because opportunity arrives to those prepared to catch it. Strength comes from struggle, not from convenience. Every tired movement teaches discipline beyond the body, discipline of the spirit. Even tired, you train. And training molds you into someone unstoppable. Even tired, you remember your purpose. And purpose ignites progress. Building anything worthwhile takes time, sweat, and grit. These workers know the meaning of effort. Day after day, they build what others will benefit from. Even tired, you keep constructing dreams. Literally and metaphorically. Sometimes, being tired means being tired of the wrong life. And that's okay. Change requires courage, especially when you feel drained. Even tired, you choose a new path. And that choice can rewrite your entire destiny. Routine can be exhausting, but responsibility keeps you moving. Every mile driven contributes to someone's journey. Even tired, you serve. And service, no matter how routine, shapes the world in unseen ways. Growth requires care, patience, repetition. Sometimes you're tired, but results grow slowly. Even tired, you nurture. And the seeds you plant today become tomorrow's beauty. Exams don't just test knowledge, they test commitment. You've prepared through exhaustion, doubt, and pressure. Even tired, you show up. And showing up proves you're already stronger than you think. Breakthroughs often come after frustration, after hours of failure, after nights of exhaustion. Even tired, you push through errors. And solutions reveal themselves to those who refuse to quit. End of day tiredness is different. It's earned. It means you gave your effort, your time, your energy. Even tired, you finish strong. And finishing strong is a discipline that bleeds into every area of life. Service requires heart, and heart doesn't quit, even when the body is tired. Compassion is a strength that grows through giving. Even tired, you help, because kindness is the greatest legacy. Leadership is lonely and exhausting. People see the success, not the sacrifices. But leaders persist through weariness because their goals impact many. Even tired, you lead, because leadership demands endurance. Farmers know the meaning of long days, early mornings, and relentless effort. Their tiredness feeds nations. Even tired, you work with pride, because your labor sustains life itself. Goals, tiredness becomes a shared fuel, not a roadblock. Even tired, you rise together. And rising together accelerates success. Community turns exhaustion into strength. When you surround yourself with people chasing, progress is not always visible, but it is always happening. You may feel tired and discouraged, but improvement hides in consistency. Even tired, you trust the process. And trust transforms results. Climbing your goals feels like climbing a mountain. Exhausting, risky, lonely. But every tired step gets you closer to the summit. Even tired, you climb, because the view is worth the struggle. Communication is a skill built through persistence. Every tired rehearsal strengthens your presence. Even tired, you prepare. And preparation eliminates fear when opportunity arrives. Pain is temporary, but progress is permanent. You've trained through exhaustion, sweat, frustration, yet you're still here. Even tired, you stretch. Because flexibility today prevents breakdown tomorrow. Entrepreneurship is sacrifice. You give up rest today to gain freedom tomorrow. Even tired, you continue. Because your dream deserves every heartbeat of effort. Your imagination doesn't stop just because you're tired. Stories demand to be told. Even tired, you write. Because creativity thrives in perseverance. Innovation requires endurance. You may be drained, but your vision pulls you forward. Even tired, you design, because the structures you imagine today will stand for generations. Responsibility doesn't pause when you're tired. Love fuels small, meaningful actions. Even tired, you care, because compassion is a lifelong goal. Learning a new skill is tiring, but every repetition sharpens your mind. Even tired, you practice. Because fluency is born from persistence, not perfection. Invisible work still matters. The world runs smoothly because of people who push through exhaustion to fix problems. Even tired, you solve. And problem solvers shape the future. Excellence is crafted in quiet moments, when you're tired, alone, and no applause is heard. Even tired, you swim. Because champions are built when no one is watching. Your journey will have uncomfortable nights, storms, and exhaustion. But every struggle makes the peak more meaningful. Even tired, you set camp. Because progress requires rest before the next climb. Kindness through fatigue is a rare strength. Even tired, you uplift others. And that makes the world better, moment by moment. You've trained through exhaustion for this moment. Even tired, you perform. And performance turns effort into art. Struggle into sound, discipline into magic. Completing something difficult while exhausted builds unstoppable confidence. Even tired, you finish. And finishing proves your power. The last stretch is always the hardest, but it also defines your story. Even tired, you sprint. Because your goals deserve a strong finish, not a quiet surrender. Your dreams are waiting. They're watching. They're calling. Even tired, you believe. And belief is the first step toward reality. Different people, different goals, same truth. Fatigue cannot defeat purpose. When you push through tiredness, you rewrite your identity. Even tired, you rise. And rising tired builds an unstoppable you. Look at what you've survived. Look at what you've built. You're tired, yes, but you're still standing, still fighting, still wanting more. Even tired, you move forward. And forward is all you need. You may be tired today. You may feel drained, stretched, overwhelmed. But your goals need you. Your future needs you. Your dream needs you. Even tired, keep going. Because one day, you'll look back and realize your tired self built your powerful self.